What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with all the news after week 2 of the preseason of our Los Angeles Crusaders franchise here in season number 5. As good as week 1 went in the preseason, week 2 was a disaster. It might have been the worst game we have played since season number 1. It was bad. Nothing went right. Now, granted, we had a lot of backups playing, okay? But still, even with that, there is no excuse for the kind of performance that the Crusaders put up. And if that's any indication of something that could potentially happen in the regular season, we got a lot of things to work out before we get to that point. Let's go ahead and get going with game prep. Again, we're just going to focus on Stuart Denny. Really didn't have a great game, but he also didn't have a whole lot of time to really get into the swing of things. The offense was barely on the field. The turnovers in the kick game, the return game were brutal. 2 of them, 2 fumbles. He also did throw 2 interceptions. Definitely not what you want to see out of a young quarterback. Now, he bounced back from one of them, went down, scored really well. So, you know, showed the promise and ability to bounce back. But I think the main thing was, one, he never really got an opportunity to get into a rhythm. The other side of the thing is, you know, he's not working with his first string wide receivers. Now, we had McNeil in there with them, and those two had chemistry, a pretty good chemistry. He did throw 1 interception McNeil's way, which wasn't great. It was a poor read. Had he been able to get the ball off a little bit sooner, it would have been a good pass, but just running a little bit late on that. But overall, definitely making a lot of progress. We really are. Our defense was my big concern from week 1 there. I don't know what was going on with defense there, but we struggled greatly in that department. So it's something to keep an eye on. And hopefully, you know, it's just the fact that our second string defense was playing. Really not impressed with Tracy at all. The backup free safety, he blows tackles left and right. It's really not good. Look at this. After Brock Osweiler had a killer game against us, he got traded. So that was his tryout for the Carolina Panthers, and apparently he made it. We'll go check out that trade in a second. That's just, all right. It's probably the same offers for LeJean Knight. We'll check him out really fast. Yep, there's a few different ones, but mostly it seems to be the same kind of story here. And honestly, I think we need to keep LeJean Knight around, especially with our backup free safety, Tracy, just losing tackles left and right. Not to mention, LeJean Knight didn't get an interception in that last game. He also got one in the Super Bowl. Injury report, I know Sherman went down. I don't think it was serious. Yeah, we're fine there. Let's go check out this trade really fast. Transactions, see what we got. And, okay, so now we're starting to get some players released. See if anybody pops up. Maybe we should go scout right linebackers. Kind of see who all is available as we go down the list here. I don't think any big names are going to be released at this point. I think that's probably going to be a little bit down the road. Maybe week 4 we might see somebody. Anyway, let's just go. Let's actually just look at trades for now. Trades. Let's see. Nope. Here we go. Alright, so the Panthers traded a first-round pick for Osweiler. Wow, okay. That's a big trade. Few other trades that we got going on here. Toonie Jean. That's the Nick Foles trade. They got Christopher Reed and a 3rd-round pick. Major Wright. Makamudi. Alright, that's just all the trades from the draft. Alright, yeah. Let's look at our stats so far through 2 games. Not a whole lot to go through right now. Denny, you know, despite the poor second game, he's still doing okay in preseason. 92.3 quarterback rating, only 192 yards. But we are also on shortened quarters, and he's not playing the full game. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Snelling had that other interception there. Rushing the ball, 8.7 yards to carry for Denny. That's considering 3 of those have been kneel downs. Dobbs really not doing well. Golden only has 2 carries in the preseason, but again, well below his average, only at 3.5 right there. Something to keep an eye on. Receiving the ball, McNeil, who had all 5 of his catches last week, definitely looked pretty good for us there. I'm excited about throwing him next to Keyston Mack and kind of seeing what those two can do together. Dobbs good out of the backfield. Everybody else has been, you know, again, we're on shortened quarters. We're not seeing a huge sample size with all this. Our offensive line's been struggling. I feel like we're giving up a lot of sacks. That's something to keep an eye on as we move forward. No sacks for McCown that last week. In fact, despite our killer first week in the sack department, we only got 1 last week. So that's definitely not all that great of news. But again, I think that whole game was a train wreck against the Steelers. Nothing went right for us there. So again, not a whole lot to really look at right now. Sherman overall still averaging 24 yards return, despite the poor week last week. Those 2 fumbles, though, that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. I'd really like Sherman to be our main kick returner going into the regular season, but he can't be fumbling the ball like that. That is not good. That can turn a game around instantly, as we saw all the momentum shift into the Steelers' direction with those fumbles. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button, and I'll see you in week 3 as we take on the Baltimore Ravens. Later, guys.